Hello, welcome to episode 2.
Here's our blanket. Excellent.
Asymmetrical twirling. Dropping and sinking.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 73 of Namaste Yoga. I want to thank everybody who has friended me on Facebook and liked Namaste Yoga on Facebook, and I want to thank you all for sending in your stories of how Namaste Yoga has affected your life. And I want to start this week's episode with a story from Linda. So she says, I wanted to practice yoga and meditation, but I didn't feel like going anywhere around here. First of all, because I thought yoga here is mostly about, I have a gym, I need to make money, I'll teach yoga because it's cool at this time. Second of all, because I didn't want it to become something like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the yoga class this day, at this time, in this weather, in this mood, and so on. So I looked for someone talented who had shared their experience on the web, and I found you. With Namaste Yoga, I can decide where and when to have my yoga class. I can choose the atmosphere, the light, the flavors, the mood, the speed. I have more time to enjoy it because I don't have to spend time to get to a different place. And I like your approach because it's not about, oh, look how cool this pose is. I'm so talented. I love that because honestly, when we started Namaste Yoga, our tagline has always been real yoga for real people. And, you know, never try and imitate me in a pose because I'm just doing the pose the best I can, which isn't perfect either. So always do it what feels right in your own body. So she says, because it's never about, oh, look how cool this pose is, I'm so talented. And also because you make us understand why what we are doing is important. But at the same time, everything is very easygoing. I mean, you laugh and the atmosphere is informal. Well, thank goodness we can laugh when we do yoga. I just love this email. And you always prepare the muscles and joints for the poses, and I can feel I'm in good hands. Thank you so much for your help. You are a piece of the puzzle for my inner revolution. Namaste. So I just love that email because it touched on so many points and so many things around my intention with Namaste Yoga, which is to keep it real and to really let yoga be more than about the physical postures, because what we're doing is about starts in the body and there's so much more to it. So I'm so glad that she saw all the angles from that. So thank you, Linda, so much for your story. You can send in your stories. You can email them to me at info@melissawest.com, or if you friend me on Facebook, you can send me a message there, or you can even leave a message on the Namaste Yoga wall. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so just stay sitting for a couple of more minutes. This week's class, I think, is the most important yoga class I've ever taught. And I've been thinking about that all week. And often I think, wow, this is a really important class. But I really do feel like this is the most important class. Today's class is on something called Sankalpa, which is about creating an intention or a resolve. And for me, this is like the crux of all of yoga. Whenever my students ask me questions, the answer usually goes back to, well, what's your intention? And so, for example, people say to me, is it important to have my legs straight in downward facing dog? And I always say to them, well, what's your intention in doing that pose? Is your intention for this pose to be a hamstring stretch? Or is your intention for this pose to be a spinal stretch? Because if it's a hamstring stretch, then you want to have your legs straight. But if it's a spinal lengthening inversion, then you probably might need to bend your knees so that your spine can lengthen a little bit more. So I really believe that everything goes back to intention in yoga. Now, our intention, this is something we work with every week, and that's why I wanted to do a whole class on it. Our intention should really resonate with our core and really align with our essence. Now, in our culture, in New Age culture, affirmations are really, really super popular. And sometimes affirmations are done with the right intention, but often affirmations are about getting things. So, for example, we might say with an affirmation, I attract wealth to me. And you can see how that's a very outside-in kind of statement. Whereas I find I make the distinction with a Sankalpa is that it's an inside-out job. So, for me, a Sankalpa is about being versus getting. So if you can imagine the metaphor of a Sankalpa like a seed that you plant in your heart, and when you plant it in your heart or your innermost being, it begins to manifest into your outer world. And what happens is that a really good Sankalpa will bring about alignment with your greatest good. So it will align you with your higher self. And also, it will bring you a sense of reverence and sincerity. And not only will it align with your highest good, also, by extension, it will align with the highest good of others. So you can see why this is incredibly important. And we're going to work with setting a Sankalpa this week. And I encourage you to set a Sankalpa that you're going to work with over a period of time. So in the past, it may have changed every time you came to the yoga mat. And this week, with my yoga students, we've been working with an intention and setting the intention that this intention is going to last for 8 weeks. So at least 8 weeks. It can kind of evolve in things, and we'll talk about that during the class. But let's let it be a little bit longer term one. So apparently the best way to come to a Sankalpa is to have your body completely relaxed. So go ahead and lie down on your back in Shavasana, bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor if your low back is tender at all or needs that extra support. If not, you can lengthen your legs out. Maybe you'll want to put a bolster underneath your knees or a blanket over your body in case you get chilled. But allow yourself to get really comfortable. And if you can adjust your position from lying on your back in any way so that you can become even a little bit more comfortable, then go ahead and do that now. Now take a deep breath in and sigh it out through your mouth to allow yourself to settle into the ground. And start by bringing your awareness to your whole body, so that your whole body, you're aware of it resting on the ground. Now bring awareness to your feet, to the soles of your feet, the roof of your feet, your toes and your heels. And then shift your awareness to your ankles. Now notice your lower legs, your shins and your calves. And then bring your awareness to your kneecaps, the insides of your knees, the outsides of your knees, the backs of your knees. Now notice your upper legs, your thighs, your hamstrings. And then start to notice your hips, your pelvis, your sacrum, your low belly. Then start to become aware of your abdomen and your lower back. Notice your spine. into your rib cage, your chest and your upper back. And then notice your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, and your fingertips. And follow your awareness back up your arms into your neck, your throat, become aware of your head resting on the ground, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears, the hair on your head. And then become aware of your breath at your nostrils, at your nose, for several breaths. And now begin to follow your breath from your nose down the back of your spine. And at the end of the inhalation, once you begin your exhalation, follow that exhalation up the front of your spine and out through your nose again. So draw your breath in, follow it from your nose down the back of your spine. And as you breathe out along the front of your spine and out through your nose. And if you're a visual person, you can imagine this breath like a thin, white, milky stream running down the back of your spine and up the front of your spine as you breathe in and breathe out. And then gently move yourself, maybe first wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles. And then make your way up to a seated position so that we can continue this process of setting your Sankalpa, one that you'll carry with you for the next 8 weeks. So find a comfortable position to sit in. It may be on a chair for you. It may be with your back against the wall today. And when you get settled, let your spine be straight. And just close your eyes again. Once you close your eyes, tune into your body, noticing what's happening in your body right now. And then take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And shift your awareness to your breathing. What's happening with your breath right now? Where do you feel it moving in your body? Are there places where it feels more stuck? Does it flow freely, or is it something you feel like you have to kind of force right now? And then take another deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And bring your awareness to what's going on in your life right now. What thoughts and emotions does that bring up? What's kind of happening day in and day out for you right now? And then take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And bring all those parts of you together. Your body, your breathing, what's going on in your life, your thoughts, your emotions. And from that place of wholeness, set an intention, a Sankalpa that you can work with for the next 8 weeks. It should be simple, clear, and in the present tense, as if you've already manifested it. And often it starts with the words, I am. And maybe the Sankalpa isn't coming to you right now. And if that's the case, then just let yourself be open to receive it when it does come in its own perfect time. If you have received and created a Sankalpa that you'd like to work with, then just repeat it to yourself a couple of times. So just remembering our example, I attract wealth to me would be more like an affirmation, whereas I am abundant in all ways is like a Sankalpa. Okay, and then bringing that Sankalpa with you into your practice, make your way onto all fours for cat pose. We'll begin by warming up your spine today. So with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, breathe out as you round up through your back, and then breathe in and arch your back the other way. And as you do that, repeat your Sankalpa silently to yourself. Or if you're in a place where you feel comfortable, you can repeat your Sankalpa, your intention, out loud as well. And as you do so, ask yourself, can this intention be self-initiated and self-maintained? So if we go back to that Sankalpa of I attract wealth to me, that intention, that affirmation is pretty externally driven. It's something that has to come to you, and it relies on external circumstances. Whereas I am abundant in all ways can be initiated with a feeling internally and then manifested externally in the world once we feel abundant in our core of our being. And then from here, slide your left leg forward, so your left knee is by your left wrist. Bring your left heel over to your right hip bone. Lengthen your right leg long behind you. If you're having any knee issues in your left knee, you can always keep that left heel even tucked right underneath you. And then you're going to fold forward over your left bent leg. Keep lengthening long through your right leg behind you. And as you experience this posture, ask yourself, is my Sankalpa congruent with my beliefs? And then come up slowly and we'll switch sides. So draw your right leg forward. Bring your right heel over to your left hip bone. Reach your left leg long behind you. And now fold forward over your bent right leg. And once you land in your yoga posture, ask yourself, repeat your Sankalpa to yourself first. And then ask yourself, does this Sankalpa line up with my values? And then make your way back onto all fours. Lift your sit bones right up towards the ceiling. Tuck your tail under. Inhale here. Exhale. Reach your sit bones up. And then maybe straighten your legs. Maybe not. So just allow yourself a really generous stretch in downward facing dog in whatever way feels right for you this morning. Or afternoon or evening, whatever it may be where you're practicing. And then lower yourself back down onto all fours and stand on your knees, turning sideways on your mat so that you're facing the long edge of your mat. And stand on your left knee and take your right leg out to the side with your right toes facing forward. Reach down through your left leg. Inhale, reach up with your arms and also lengthen up through your spine. And then you're going to breathe out and side bend over your right leg. And you can allow your arm to rest wherever it drops. Just for me, it lands right at my knee. So I'm going to bring my hand above my knee. If yours goes below your knee, then that's fine. You just don't want to place any pressure on your knee joint here. So this is gate pose. And imagine as if you are opening the gate to your Sankalpa, to your intention. What would that be like to open the gate to your intention? Maybe imagine opening a small gate and taking that first step through to your intention. And then switch sides, so you'll bring your right knee in, stand on that right knee, take your left leg out to the side. Try and level off your hip bones as much as is possible in your body. Keep your tail tucked under. Lengthen your spine up. Inhale, take your arms overhead. And exhale and side bend over your left leg. So repeating your Sankalpa again to yourself. And you've taken that first step through the gate. So now zoom out. And when you zoom out, imagine what it would be like to live this intention. What do you see and hear and feel? What will it be like in your relationships? How will you be? And then slowly come back up. And we're going to make our way up to standing. So come to a standing position. Stand with your feet underneath your hip bones. Spread your toes nice and wide. Lengthen down through your legs. And up through your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Draw your ears back over your shoulders. So this is mountain pose, Tadasana. And if you imagine a mountain in India where yoga originated, they're a pretty busy place. People farm on the mountains. They take spiritual pilgrimages. There are animals, forests, lots of living life and activity. And yet the mountain stands strong and unmovable. So as you stand in mountain pose, Tadasana, just check in and see what it's like to stand in your intention. And then inhale, take your arms overhead. And reach up long through your spine, tuck your tail under, and breathe out and side bend over to the right. So as you bend to the side, repeat your Sankalpa to yourself again. And then come back center and side bend over to the other side. And as you bend into your Sankalpa, ask yourself if your Sankalpa is able to bend with you and be flexible with you in your life circumstances. If things change, can your Sankalpa bend and move with you? Is it flexible enough? And then come back center and come and stand at the front of your mat. From the front of your mat, take a generous step back with your right foot, about the length of one of your legs. You're going to line up, men are going to line up heel to arch, and women are going to line up front heel to back heel. Then you're going to turn your hips and face them to the front end of your mat, and sink down through your front left sit bone. So you have warrior one legs, back right leg is straight, front left leg is bent. And we're going to do warrior one pose with eagle's arms. So bring your left arm up and hook your right arm underneath it. Maybe your palms meet, maybe they don't. It's not really that important. So warrior one, in warrior one we stand strong like a spiritual warrior in our Sankalpa. And eagle's arms are about vision. And so it's about looking at the vision of our Sankalpa from this very strong and centered place. So release this posture from your body. Maybe shake out your legs a little bit. And we'll do this posture on your other side. So take a generous step back with your left foot. Hips face the front short end of your mat. Sink down through your front right sit bone. Spread your toes nice and wide. Spine straight up and down in the center. And bring your right arm up, hooking your left arm underneath. So again, repeat your Sankalpa to yourself. And imagine having that ego's vision for what your life will be like when you're living this way. And then release your arms and come back to stand at the front of your mat. Shake out your legs and your arms. And take a deep breath. Okay, let's take a big step back with your right foot now again. Nice generous step. Again, men, front left heel to back right arch. Women, front left heel to back left heel. Turn your hips so they face the long edge of your mat, but not if it torques your front left knee too much. Then you're going to sink down through your front left sit bone and really check and make sure that that your front left knee is right over your front left ankle. So it's not rolling in at all. So you want to be able to see your big left toe. And then you'll bring your arms up parallel to the ground. So this is warrior two pose. And in warrior two, you stand in the present moment. You stand here in your truth, in your true self. And your right arms behind you represent your past and all the gifts and all the experience and all the wisdom that comes from your past. You stand in the present moment, and then normally in warrior two, you gaze over top of your left fingertips. And you create a vision for your future. So this time what I want you to do is look back over your right hands and repeat your Sankalpa to yourself. And as you do that and look back into your past, see all the things that you can bring from your past that will support you in living in this intention. All your experiences, all those gifts, all that wisdom. And sometimes it's the most challenging experiences that make us the strongest in the present moment. And then slowly lower your arms down. Turn your toes so they face that long edge of your mat where your hips are facing. And then just turn your right toes out to the short end of your mat and your left toes in. Now sink down through your front right sit bone and bring your arms up parallel to the ground. So this time you'll look out over your right fingertips again. Only this time you're looking to your future. And so I love, the philosopher in me loves that you're looking over the same hand. That everything you need is already within you. And so really there's no difference between the past and the future when we're living from our Sankalpa. So now you're looking into your future, standing in your present moment, Sankalpa, and having that vision for your future of living from that intention. And then slowly release your arms and turn your toes so they face front. Inhale here, exhale, roll your pelvis over your leg bones and fold forward so you're letting go into your intention. And then place your right palm on the ground, rotate your torso so you're reaching your left arm up, opening your heart to the sky. So ask yourself how your Sankalpa will evolve with you. It may start as one thing and then over time it may shift and change slightly and gradually to suit your values and your beliefs and your life better. And then slowly lower it down and place your left hand on the ground. You can come onto fists if your wrists are bothering you at all. Rotate your heart open on your left side. Sorry, your right side, and open your right arm up. And then come back forward and make your way back up to standing. Okay, stand in the middle of your mat and make sure you have space in front of you and behind you for your arms and your legs. And let's just take a deep falling out breath. Find your feet underneath you. Bring your arms straight up overhead and shift onto your left leg. Tip your whole torso forward so that your right leg extends behind you and your torso comes in front of you with your arms into Warrior 3. So Warrior 3 pose is a pose about shooting those peaceful arrows in the world. It's about taking action. So gone are the days where the yogis can sit in caves. Now we have a responsibility in the world. First, that we cultivate in ourselves, and then by extension we create that change in the world by shooting those peaceful arrows. And then come up to standing. And let's do this on the other side. So stand on your right leg. Reach your arms up. And fold forward like a teeter-totter, only stopping halfway. For Warrior 3. So in Warrior 3, repeat your Sankalpa to yourself. And ask yourself what action is required of you to live this Sankalpa. And then come up to standing. Take one of those deep breaths. Okay, so from here, take your arms straight out in front of you. You're going to inhale here and exhale. Sit back into what you can imagine to be a very small chair, like those ones you find in kindergarten classrooms. And repeat your Sankalpa to yourself. And in this position, which might be a little bit more challenging, ask yourself what's going to happen when life gets tough and challenging. How might you sabotage your own resolve? And then slowly come up to standing. Okay, a lot of standing postures today, and I think because with intention, it's something that you really stand in. So, a lot of standing postures. We're going to do one more standing posture, which is tree pose. And because we're focusing on the intention behind tree pose and the kind of metaphysical aspects of the pose more than, okay, let's really work on balance and all that, I want you to maybe go a little easier on yourself in this pose. So stand on your left leg and turn your right toes out to the side. And you may want to pick up your foot and bring it to the inside of your calf or the inside of your thigh, either above or below your knee, but not on your knee. And maybe even because we're going to be really focusing inward in this pose, you might want to keep your toes on the ground. Take your hands, bring them together, palms together at your heart. And focus your gaze inward. So as I said at the beginning of the class, your Sankalpa is like a seed that you plant in your heart. And so just like a tree, when you plant that seed, a tree grows its roots down first, down deep into the ground. So you might not see much happening externally. And it's the same with your Sankalpa. First you build it internally, in your own being. And there might not be that much evidence of it out in your world. So release your legs and your hands and switch sides so you're standing on your right leg with your left toes turned out. And you can make it a balancing pose, but again, we're going to really be focusing internally in this pose on the metaphysical aspects of the pose. So it might be easier to keep your toes on the ground today. So again, bringing your hands to your heart. So once your Sankalpa has been cultivated internally, in your innermost being, at the level of your core, and you're really being that Sankalpa, then those changes will start to happen outside. So like the tree who grows its roots down deep into the earth, gathering up that nourishment first, then the branches grow up and out. And then the tree bears fruit as well. So slowly release this posture from your body. And then we're going to do shoulder stand today. So I would encourage you to find a spot against the wall. So just get yourself set up for that. Okay, so you're going to place your hips right against the wall. sit on the very edge of your mat. And then swing your legs around in front of you so you come to legs up the wall. And I want everybody to pause here and check in on their Sankalpa. So, for example, your Sankalpa, it might fit the intention of your Sankalpa to stay with legs up the wall more so than to come up into full shoulder stand. But the reason why I've chosen shoulder stand today is that it's known as the feminine inversion, and it has those feminine characteristics to it, which is about being receptive. So if coming into full shoulder stand supports your intention, then you can place your feet flat on the wall, press into your feet, roll your spine up off the ground, walk your elbows underneath you, keep your head in the center. And if you can take one leg off the wall without kicking, then you can do that, and maybe you stay here, but maybe you take both legs off the wall. Okay? So if you're going to stay with shoulder stand, you can stay here. For me, today, legs up the wall is better for me. So just be careful with whatever you've chosen to stay in. So as you experience this posture, ask yourself what it would be like to receive your Sankalpa rather than to do your Sankalpa.